Hey guys, welcome to a new weekly analysis slash breakdown of what happened this week from April 22 to April 26. It was a very interesting week. What can I say? Basically that it was kind of a break-even week. If we actually see the numbers, it was a profitable week, but with a very small win. I ended up around 0.5, 0.6% in profit in my prop firm challenge account. So profit is profit. We can consider that, and we must be positive in terms of understanding that winning is actually important. But in my opinion and percentage wise, was kind of a break-even week. I took 2 trades on Monday and on Friday. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this breakdown of what happened this week, where I show you basically all my trades, all my previous analysis before taking trades, as well as how I analyze the markets and take decisions, such as not taking any trades for the day, considering a no trading day, or just avoiding a specific trade depending on the situation. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hey guys, welcome to what happened on April 22nd on Monday. Unfortunately, I didn't record what happened in that specific day. I only recorded a live trading video that is already uploaded in my YouTube channel. If you guys want to watch it, feel free and to go check it out. But yeah, I wanted to explain what actually happened and the reason why I took that specific trade. I'm of course recording this. I'm in a replay mode for you guys to see it better. So what I saw in my session was that, so I'm in the 1 hour time frame in replay mode, literally exactly in the beginning of my session. And what I saw first was that price was rejecting from this interesting zone. Some of you guys call it fair value gap. I just call it a zone or a gap. And if we go to the 15 minutes, after price rejected to that zone, of course, before that, it's very important to mention that previously we changed a structure, which shifted to a bullish trend by taking liquidity from this low here and breaking structure in this side here and then breaking structure again. So in my opinion, this 2 equal highs was just liquidity for us to consider target. So yeah, going back to what I was explaining, so price broke structure here, right? Multiple times. The first break of structure was this one, and the second break of structure was this one, and then price gave a discount to this area here. So this was the beginning of my session. So you guys can see it's basically 7:45 a.m. New York time. I start trading at 8 a.m. But yeah, what I was looking for was for kind of a new demand zone created, understanding that price already rejected from my expected discounted zone. So when my session literally started, understanding that price already was rejecting from this discounted zone, and I was consider buying opportunities literally immediately after my session started, knowing that I was rejecting from this demand zone created in here. I was already looking for buys. So when my session started, I immediately bought with my point of entry around this area here and a big stop loss, because usually sometimes the discount it's a little bit lower than this. So this was my stop loss around this area, and I was targeting, like I said before, this equal highs as liquidity for like around a 1 to 2 point something. But yeah, this is basically what happened. And of course, you guys can see, you will be able to watch it in the live trading video. But when price reached this zone, my rule says that I have to move my stop loss to break even, because it's already a break of structure and I don't expect for price to reverse fully. So immediately after price reached this zone, I moved my stop loss to break even. I was in a free risk trade, and unfortunately price then reversed. And look at what happened, guys, after I got stopped out. My bias was correct, but unfortunately price had to go a little bit lower, take liquidity from this low here, and then look at the movement. literally happened what I was looking for. And as I said earlier, this was considered liquidity and price end up taking out that liquidity. So my direction was correct, my bias was correct, my entry was also correct based on my strategy, but unfortunately it didn't work out as expected, but it was a break-even trade. So now let's go to Tuesday's market analysis to see what happened. Hey guys, welcome to a new day in the markets. Today is April 23rd, and this is basically what happened today in the markets. Right now it's currently 2 p.m. New York time. I wasn't able to analyze the markets earlier because I didn't have a camera or a proper computer at the moment. But yeah, either way, there were some high impact news at 9:45. As you guys can see here, there were some high impact news of the USD at 9:45 a.m. New York time. So yeah, it was either taking a trade before 9:45 or highly probable not taking any trades after that moment. As we can see, price had a lot of momentum in those trades. Price had a lot of momentum at that time. So yeah, basically what I was looking was, you guys can see in previous days, price took liquidity from this low here and it started breaking structure to the upside, breaking this structure here and respecting bullish trends. Then in the 1 hour, we can see that price had previously respected this area here, breaking structure, as I said it before, in this area. And then in our session today, price gave a discount to this area, respecting also a demand zone, and same thing, respecting a bullish trend. And then it broke structure to the upside. What I was maybe looking for in my session was for price to break this interesting high here in the 15-minute. It did, but it didn't news. What I wanted was for price to take it in this zone, then give a discount around this area and then buy. But all that movement happened in news, so there was no opportunities for us, and that's why I didn't take any trades today. But yeah, it was a pretty bullish day, respecting, you guys can see, broke structure, discount, broke structure again, discount, broke structure again. So it's very bullish, the market lately. So yeah, it's better to follow trend rather than doing the opposite. So that's why I was looking for buys. But yeah, that was all for today. Tomorrow I'll be able to record and have my camera and everything. But yeah, at least I wanted to share with you guys what happened today. So yeah, it was a no trading day for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow, Wednesday, to see what happens in the market. Take care, guys. Hey guys, welcome to a new day in the markets. Today is April 24th, and I'm looking at AU right now. It's very important to mention that we have bank holiday today in our pair in Australian dollar, which means that very likely we'll have a very slow liquidity throughout our session. But yeah, what I'm seeing right now is that price rejected to the supply zone in the daily time frame, right? And of course it did some reversion, as we can see. So I have two valid points, right? Understanding that we're bullish overall, right? I would like for price to reach this zone, where is this line here, and that will be a valid confirmation in the 1 hour, and I will of course see in lower time frame some confirmations for buying possibilities. But there's also an interesting zone here that I will of course be looking at to see if price reach this zone here, for maybe look for a sell, that we can see in the 5 minutes that it looks very nice. But price of course haven't reached that zone, and I would like of course to look for selling confirmation around this area for me to sell. But as I said before, there's no clear confirmations right now. What is very clear is that price in DXY rejected very nicely from this zone here. So it rejected very nicely, went down very fast. But as you guys can see now, it's kind of respecting a bullish trend. So yeah, today, at least right now, there's no clear signs of direction in my opinion. I would just like to see if price reach this zone, how it reacts, as well as to this zone. So I'll update you guys if something happens. So at the end, unfortunately, my camera stopped recording, so I'm gonna explain you guys what I was looking for and what basically happened. I'm in a replay mode, but as you guys know, I'm full transparent with you guys. So yeah, price was holding a supply zone in the 4 hour. If we can see the 1 hour, we can see that there was a lot of rejection from that zone. If we go to the 15 minute, we can see that rejection way more clean, but there was not kind of like a break of structure to the downside. But in the 5 minute, there was kind of a small break of structure in this zone here. You guys can see that price was rejecting. Price was respecting multiple trends to the downside, respecting a bearish trend. What I was looking for, like I said in the video, was for price to reach this zone, which was a nice zone, and look for some sell confirmations to sell. But where? Towards this target, which was my final target. If I would consider some sales, we can see it in the 4 hour as well, to this target here. That was my target. So basically to this zone in the 1 hour, this was my final target if price would have reached this zone, and I would have taken some sales. But because price didn't do that, if we can see price just continue going down and didn't reach my zone, and then it got to this point here, then here I was looking for some buying opportunities for us to take this high. But unfortunately, as we can see, as you guys of course know, I only trade until 11 a.m. New York time. We can see that the confirmation I was expecting, which was basically a change of direction, so breaking structure to the upside, which was this was the first break of structure. We can see it even more clear in the 5 minutes. We can see the break of structure, right? Well, this was actually the first one, but very small. That's like kind of considered like a change of character. This is more, in my opinion, a change of structure. I was going to wait for a discount towards zones around this area, targeting higher. But unfortunately, if you guys can see, it's already 1 p.m. New York time, which is very late for me. I'm not trading at that moment, but if we see price did the perfect discount, and then if we go to 1 hour to make it even more faster, the movement, we can see that it ended up working and our bias and direction was correct. So yeah, that's what I was looking for. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, so that's why I didn't take any trades in my session that day. So now let's move to what happened Thursday's session. Hey guys, today is April 25th. I'm looking at my only pair, as always, AU. What I'm looking for right now is so we can see news literally dropped some seconds ago, and you guys can see what it did. It's very nice that it took Tuesday's high in this area and now it started dropping. So I would like to see maybe a reversal to this zone and then some sales, but I don't like the price did this because this basically damages my setup. So maybe now I'm gonna look for price to keep distributing to this zone and look for some buys around this area, which is the area that I like, and continue pushing up, because overall the trend is completely bullish. You guys can see broke structure here, took liquidity here, broke structure here, respected this zone, broke structure again in this, respected this overall zone yesterday, as I said, and then it broke structure to the upside again. So I would like to see a reaction in this area for a continuation to the upside. So that's what I'm gonna be looking, and I'll catch you guys if I see something. But as we can see, it's very interesting. In DXY, we can see that price literally reached a very interesting zone, as you can see in the 4 hours, and overall the trend in DXY, it's like in the major time frames, it's bullish. and I will consider this as liquidity. So this means that price might take this high and reject around this area, like this zone, this gray zone. And if that happens, it's very likely for AU do the same. So take this as liquidity and reject from this gap that if we can see there's a huge gap here, and usually price moves where gaps are. So it's very interesting that maybe I'm gonna see if price gives me an interesting discount to this zone, and then I will look for sells. Okay guys, so it's 5:45 Vancouver time, which is 8:44 New York time, and price keeps dropping. There's no reversal for us to get into the trade. I understand, of course, that we could also consider this zone as a valid zone to enter or something like that, but in my opinion it's too low, and that's kind of FOMO, because it will be basically for us to chase the market. So maybe the whole distribution occurs without having a reversal, and that's fine. We can see that DXY it's also going up like crazy, and there was no discount towards this area, which was the interesting area to buy in DXY. But yeah, that's what's happening right now. Like I said, I like this zone here, that if we sit in the 4 hour, it looks very nice, a full gap, because everything below this zone it's mitigated and it's balanced, but this gap it's not. So I would like to see a rejection in this area to the upside, or see if price give us a proper discount towards hopefully this zone, or even this zone, which is basically around the 50%, something like that. Will be nice to see. Either way, there's a gap here between these two zones. There's a small gap in this area that will be nice for price to reach and then continue dropping. But my bias for today is for price to take this low here. So this is the target of my session. Okay guys, so if price reverse, I would like these two zones. So this was my initial trade kind of, and this will be my secondary trade. This is the one I will take if price gives a discount towards this area, that is kind of the 50%. But yeah, honestly I don't think it's gonna give that reversal for us to sell. But yeah, that's how it is. It might keep dropping, as we can see in DXY. Price is completing the whole movement, and it really, it just did it actually. It just completed the whole move, and now it's in an interesting zone of yesterday's high. So it just took yesterday's high in DXY, which means that there's high probabilities for price to drop now in DXY. And also, if we can see if price reached this line here, that's a very high probable zone for price to do something like this and then drop. So that's what I'm gonna be looking at. I would like to see, like I said, for AU to keep distributing and reject around this area. That's, in my opinion, a high probable zone for buys. So yeah, the market is nice today overall. In terms of direction, it's very, very clear in my opinion. It's just that those news were horrendous and it destroyed the market basically, because it's very likely that if there wasn't news, we had took this trade because the movement would have been way slower, and maybe price would have given us that reversal for us to take the trade. And it was a clear trade following the XY. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but let's see how price reacts, and then if it reaches this zone or if it gives a discount, and if we can take a trade. Hey guys, so it's currently 9:34 a.m. New York time, and price has not yet taken this low here. We can see that in the XY, price did what we were expecting to, so it took this Wednesday high, but in our pair it hasn't. So I might expect for price to continue to the downside. What's the situation here? We can see at 10 a.m. we have high impact news in the USD, which means that now we're not gonna take any trades until news drop. After news drop, we might see some liquidity, some momentum entering the markets. So we will see if price actually give us this reversal to these zones, or if it just keeps dropping and rejects to this zone that we can see it way more clear in the 4-hour. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be looking at. But like I said, no trade for now, and it looks pretty much like a no trading day because the whole momentum and the movement that I was expecting for today already happened, which was for price to drop and take this low. It hasn't yet taken this low, but I would like to see that happening after news or before news. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay guys, so it's 10 a.m. New York time. News dropped already. There was literally no momentum in those news. So we can see I'm in the 5 minutes and there wasn't even like a big movement or something. The actual movement happened before in all this movement here. But yeah, basically right now what I'm looking is, I think there's high chances for price to keep dropping. There's no entry point for me, to be honest, to take any trades. But I personally think that if I had to choose between buying or selling right now, I will definitely sell around this point here. But I don't take trades like this. Like you guys can see, there's no clear confirmation neither in the 1 hour or in the 15 or basically anything. So that will be basically to be going against my trading plan and my roles and my strategy as well. So I'm just watching. Like I said, I'm expecting for price to take this Wednesday's low and then reject around this area. Let's see how the XY looks. The XY looks pretty much the same. The only difference is that the XY already took Wednesday's high, which is basically AU Wednesday's low. But yeah, I personally believe that the XY has big chances for reversing, which basically means that there's chances for AU to reach this zone and go up. So yeah, let's see if that happens in my session or if it happens later. So it's 10:18 a.m. New York time, and we can see that price started to reverse, and now in AU it shifted direction to the upside, breaking this structure here. Unfortunately, it didn't take this low here, right? So that makes me a little bit iffy based on having liquidity sitting above these two lows, sorry. But if we compare price with DXY, we can see this. You can see basically that price took yesterday's high, DXY, rejected from this downtrend direction, and if we see in the 5 minutes, we can see how clean this thing looks. you guys can see how the market broke structure to the downside, breaking this structure here and respecting multiple structures to the downside, which basically means that now the market is bearish in DXY. The thing is that this zone could also work, the one that I have marked here, but overall the trend is bearish. So I will prefer selling because it's favor of the trend. So if I prefer selling in DXY, I prefer buying in AU. So what I'm gonna look right now is for a discount to this zone, and I will buy around this area. Okay guys, so unfortunately my camera stopped recording. I don't know why the same issue happened a lot this week. I promise I'm gonna get that solved. But yeah, basically, like I said in the video, I immediately saw that price wasn't able to break this low, and in DXY it did. This was Wednesday's low, and in DXY price recently took Wednesday's high, which makes me biased to understand that maybe price wasn't going to take Wednesday's low and it was just going to continue respecting a bullish trend, so start moving to the upside. So like I said in the video, I saw that price broke structure to the upside, and here I know there's no like a full breakup structure. Now there it is, a full breakup structure, but we can see that it was already very late, so I was waiting for a reversal, kind of like a discount towards the zone to buy, or maybe for price to reach something like here, like a point here, and give me a confirmation and stuff like that for me to sell. But if we can see liquidity decreased, and you guys can see the hour, 11 a.m, no more trades for me that day. But if we can see later, price actually respected my first idea, which was buying. Didn't reach actually my zone, but it reached 15-minute demand zone, and it continued going to the upside and breaking structure, if I'm not wrong, breaking structure to the upside. Yeah, it broke structure to the upside, so it continued in a bullish trend. So yeah, that was basically all for this Thursday, and let's see what happened on Friday. Hey guys, welcome to a new day in the markets. Today is April 26th. It's a Friday. It's currently 8:38 a.m. New York time. Some high impact news recently released at 8:30 a.m. So you guys can see this was the impulse, a lot of liquidity. But yeah, what I was looking was for, honestly, I understand of course that price recently took yesterday's high, and I usually in my strategy look for some liquidity grabbed from yesterday's high or yesterday's low, for them look for a reversal. But we're so bullish that going against the trend is just not right, in my opinion, not the most intelligent thing to do. So price recently rejected from this gap as well as this 1 hour zone and broke structure. It was not the most clean breakup structure, but it kind of did in this small breakup structure here in the 5 minutes as well as this. So I was looking for a bigger discount, like the discount was done here. Let's see if in the minute looks clear. It was done, but I wanted to be a little bit longer, such as for example covering all these gaps in this, something like this, and I would have considered maybe to put my entry here with my stop loss around this area, targeting this, right? That didn't happen, so now let's see what happens. Like I said, bias towards buying. If we can see DXY, it's completely bearish. As you can see, took liquidity, broke structure, reversal, respected bearish trend, broke structure again, Same thing, respected bearish trend, broke structure again. Now I understand that in the 1 hour, price kind of took liquidity from yesterday's low. Same thing that happened in AU, but the opposite side. And it broke structure to the upside, way more clean than my pair. So we could expect maybe some movement to the upside. But as I said, we are in a completely bearish market. So that's kind of interesting to see what happens. Now it's rejecting to that 1 hour demand zone. So let's see. I would like to see what happens. As I said, it depends on my confirmation. So yeah, I'll update you guys what happened. Also, it's important to mention that at 10 a.m. we have another high impact news of the USD, which means that we basically have a gap between 8:30 and 10, which is basically 1 hour and a half for us to look for some trade opportunities. But after that, it's very likely for not taking any trades, because it can just destroy the market based on so much liquidity. Or, well, we'll see what happens. But yeah. Hey guys, welcome to a new live trading video. I just took this trade in AU, following trend, a bullish trend. My entry level was here with my stop loss around this area. I'm targeting this zone, exactly a little bit this here. Let me put my stop loss and my take profit real quick. Okay, so that's gonna be it. I'm risking, as always, 1% of my account, and let's see what happens. We can see that we are completely bullish in higher time frames and everything, and also in the 5 minutes we have a very nice gap in this area here, as well as this impulse. So we kind of broke structure here with a lot of impulse here, so I'm expecting for price to reject here, and also in this momentum to the downside, there's no break of structure to the downside, which makes me think that this might be liquidity in here. So yeah, we're being pretty bullish. So I honestly prefer to follow trend rather than doing the opposite. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now. Let's see what happens. Okay guys, so at the end, usually most of Fridays, very early in the morning, I have to go to work, so I had to stop recording. I upload everything and all my results and all my decisions to my Instagram and TikTok at that exact moment, but I didn't record, unfortunately. So I'm gonna show you guys basically what happened and my decision. So when price, you guys can see, of course, everything here that has happened by now, you were able to see it in the current video. But as you guys can see, there was a horrible consolidation. Like literally, price wasn't able to break this structure. I was kind of secure, not secure, but I thought this was a liquidity fully, or even this liquidity, right? And the overall trend was bullish. But we can see that price was really struggling to break that structure. So at 10 a.m., exactly in this point, 10 a.m., let me get back this a little bit more. So we can see at this moment, 10 a.m., there was high impact news, which are basically red folder news in the USD. I don't trade news. So usually around 10 minutes before, I close the trade manually if price hasn't reached my TP or my stop loss. So price was around this area, like around 9:50 a.m., 9:45 a.m., something like that. And I closed my trade manually with around 0.6% profit. You guys can see, taking out the commission and everything, it was kind of like a 0.6% profit. Profit is profit. It was kind of a break-even trade for me, but yeah, like I said, profit is profit. And this is basically what happened after that. If I wouldn't close, it would have been a stop loss, and then price respected some zones a little bit lower than my initial zone, and then this was the final result. Price continued going up and broke structure again, respecting a bullish trend. So my bias and direction was correct, but I respected my rules. That's why I finished the trade in a profit instead of a loss. But yeah, that was all for Friday's trade. Okay guys, so that was all for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed, found it useful. I hope that my explanations and the way I analyze the charts, it's maybe useful for some of you guys. But yeah, like I said at the beginning of this video, it was a break-even week. If we go a little bit deeper in the numbers, we can consider it a profitable week because I ended up in a 0.6% profit for my Prop Firm Challenge account, and profit is profit, so that's what matters. Before going, I just want to mention that I'm planning and I'm studying some data to change my approach towards prop firms and being a little bit more aggressive. So I'll update you guys on that very soon. But yeah, basically I am planning to be a little bit more aggressive on passing challenges to be able to maybe grow my capital a little bit faster. But that also brings more risk. But that's why I want to have big sample sizes based on data. That of course makes me more confident in this new approach. Just a quick sneak peek. As I explained before in my recent videos and this breakdown analysis, as well as my live trading videos and everything, I've traded the same way for a long time, only trading odd USD and only taking one trade per day. What I may be planning is just to keep the same strategy, keep the same ideology and way I look the markets, but adding some more pairs to my watch list. I'm not planning to do this in the long term or with my personal capital in the future. I'm just looking and analyzing the possibility of applying this just to pass prop firm challenges, only for that, because I know that trading one pair with one simple strategy and one trade per day, it's profitable and it's actually a very useful strategy. But I just want to implement maybe a change to make the process a little bit faster without damaging my psychology and my emotions. So that's why I'm applying this, and that's why I want to have a lot of sample sizes and a lot of data to make me a little bit more confident on this. So I'll update you guys on this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's enjoy this weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care.